Have you ever been so confident that you told nobody where you were going? No phone signal. No one expecting you back. Just one wrong step. In April 2003, a 27-year-old adventurer named Aron Ralston set off alone into the remote canyons of Utah. He had climbed countless mountains before. He loved the outdoors. He believed he could handle almost anything nature threw at him. Within hours, he would become trapped in one of the most terrifying survival stories ever recorded. And 6 days later, he would make a decision so unbelievable that Hollywood would later turn it into a movie. But the real story is even more incredible. This is the Enigma File. Aron Ralston wasn't reckless in the way people often imagine. He was experienced. He had spent years hiking, climbing, and exploring some of America's toughest landscapes. Friends described him as fearless, energetic, and always chasing the next adventure. That Saturday morning, he drove to Utah's Canyonlands region. His destination was Bluejohn Canyon, a narrow slot canyon carved by millions of years of flash floods. These canyons are beautiful, but they're also dangerous. Some passages are so narrow you have to squeeze sideways just to move through them. The towering sandstone walls block sunlight. Temperatures swing dramatically between day and night. And if something goes wrong, help may never arrive. Before entering the canyon, Aron made one critical mistake. He never told anyone exactly where he was going. No family, no friends, no park rangers. As far as the world knew, he had simply gone on another weekend adventure. For several hours, everything went perfectly. He climbed over rocks, rappelled through narrow passages, and enjoyed the silence of the desert. Then, around 2 p.m, everything changed. While climbing down a narrow section of the canyon, Aron grabbed onto a massive boulder weighing hundreds of pounds. At first, it seemed completely stable. But as he shifted his weight, the rock suddenly broke loose. In an instant, gravity took over. The boulder crashed downward. Aron's right hand was pinned against the canyon wall. The impact trapped his arm between solid sandstone and nearly 800 pounds of rock. The pain was immediate. He pulled, twisted, pushed with all his strength. Nothing moved. The boulder might as well have been part of the mountain itself. At first, Aron believed rescue was only a matter of time. Surely someone would eventually come through the canyon. But hours passed. No voices, no footsteps, only silence. As daylight faded, the harsh reality slowly settled in. No one knew where he was. He was completely alone. His supplies were painfully limited. About 1 liter of water, a couple of burritos, some small snacks, a cheap multi-tool, a video camera, and hope. The first night was freezing. The second day was even worse. Aron tried everything. He chipped away at the rock with his dull multi-tool. He attempted to lift the boulder using climbing ropes as leverage. He even considered breaking the rock apart. Nothing worked. The sandstone walls around him became both prison and witness. As the days passed, dehydration began taking over. His lips cracked. His skin dried out. His thoughts became slower. He carefully rationed every sip of water. Eventually, there was no water left. Desperate, Aron did something almost unimaginable. He began drinking his own urine just to stay alive. It wasn't enough. By the 5th day, his body was shutting down. He believed he was going to die. But instead of giving up, he turned on his video camera. One by one, he recorded goodbye messages for his family and friends. He apologized. He thanked them. He told them he loved them. Watching those recordings today is heartbreaking. There is no acting, no drama. Just a young man calmly preparing for the end. He even carved what he believed would be his final message into the canyon wall. His name, his birth date, and the date he expected to die. Most people would have accepted their fate. But then, something happened. Later, Aron would describe having what felt like a vision, whether it was exhaustion, hallucination, or something deeper. No one can say for certain. In that vision, he saw himself with a young child. The child was missing part of one arm, yet both of them were smiling. For Aron, the meaning was immediate. He wasn't going to die in the canyon. he was going to survive. But only if he made an impossible choice. For days, he had thought about amputating his own arm. The idea seemed impossible. His small multi-tool wasn't sharp enough to cut through bone. He simply couldn't do it. Then he realized something. He didn't need to cut through the bone, he could break it first. Using the trapped arm as leverage, Aron forced his body against the rock until both forearm bones snapped. The sound echoed through the canyon. The hardest part was over. Now came the unimaginable. Using his dull knife, he slowly cut through skin, muscles, tendons, and blood vessels. It took nearly an hour. Every movement required determination beyond comprehension. Finally, his arm came free. After 6 days trapped alone, Aron Ralston was free, but survival wasn't guaranteed. He was still deep inside one of the most isolated canyons in America. He had already lost enormous amounts of blood. He was dangerously dehydrated, and now he had only one arm. Most people would struggle just to stand. Aron still had to climb. He rappelled down a cliff using one hand. Then he hiked for several miles through the desert under the scorching sun. Eventually, after hours of walking, fate finally changed. A family hiking nearby spotted him. They immediately gave him water and called for emergency rescue. A helicopter soon arrived. Against every imaginable odd, Aron Ralston survived. Doctors later confirmed that if he had waited much longer, he almost certainly would have died. His right arm could not be saved, but his life could. Recovery was long and painful. Learning to live with one arm required months of rehabilitation. Many assumed his days as an adventurer were over. They couldn't have been more wrong. Less than a year later, Aron was climbing mountains again. Using specially designed prosthetic equipment, he returned to the wilderness that had nearly taken his life. Eventually, he achieved one of his greatest goals, climbing all 59 of Colorado's 14,000-foot peaks during winter, a remarkable achievement even for climbers with two arms. In 2004, he published his autobiography, Between a Rock and a Hard Place. The title perfectly captured his impossible situation. Then, in 2010, his story reached millions around the world through the film 127 Hours, starring James Franco. The movie was praised for its realism, but even Hollywood struggled to capture the psychological weight of those 6 lonely days. Today, Aron often speaks about resilience, fear, and gratitude. When people ask whether he regrets entering Bluejohn Canyon alone, his answer surprises many. He says the accident transformed his life. It taught him what truly matters: family, purpose. Every ordinary day. His story has also changed outdoor safety forever. Search and rescue organizations frequently use his experience as one of the clearest reminders of a simple rule. Always tell someone where you're going. Carry emergency communication equipment, and never underestimate nature, because the wilderness doesn't care how experienced you are. One small mistake can change everything. Aron Ralston's story isn't just about survival. It's about human determination pushed to its absolute limit. It's about refusing to surrender even when every logical outcome points toward death. Few people will ever face a decision as impossible as his. Fewer still could make it. Sometimes the greatest battle isn't against nature. It's against the voice inside your own mind telling you that it's over. For Aron, it wasn't. If this story fascinated you, subscribe to Enigma File for more true stories of survival, mystery, and extraordinary people whose lives prove that reality is often stranger than fiction. Because sometimes, the greatest mysteries are what human beings are truly capable of.